We are the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I'm still James.
Yeah, we got a nice little podcast planned for y'all today. Got a movie review. We went to see Upgrade. It was Upgrade over the weekend. It was a surprise great movie. And we're going to talk about all that in a minute. And we got a couple trailers we're going to react to. And then we got a little news. We still got to talk about what's going on in Hollywood. And Hollywood been up to their own shenanigans, and we're going to talk about it. All right, so first thing first, man, we're going to jump on this review. We got the movie Upgrade. Upgrade is kind of I don't want to say it's a low budget. I don't know what the budget is, but the budget couldn't have been that big.
Right.
But it's an action movie, action sci-fi movie. There's what's the dude named Logan Marshall-Green? Ain't this his name?
I think so, yeah.
Starring, and you might know him from what's the alien movie? Not Covenant, the other one, the first one, the one everybody been talking about.
Prometheus.
Yeah, he was the main guy in Prometheus. He was the dumbass that drunk the drink, right? And when David put the shit in his drink right in front of the camera, his dumbass drunk. Oop, oop. So anyway, so this is this guy. So this movie is about a man that is a mechanic, and this is in the near future, and this is probably not too far off. And I like how they set this future up because it's things that are not too far off from happening now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Drones and self-driving cars.
Right, which they have all that now. It's just not commercially used, but all the technology is there. So this lead me to believe this is like, 2025 or something,
Yeah.
So it's in the near future, and Logan Marshall-Green character is a mechanic, and he's one of those. And they always got these characters in these movies. He's one of those. I don't like their new stuff. I'm a, you know what I'm talking about? It's kind of like, remember on like iRobot, Will Smith character, hated robots. I don't get with the technology. I'm an old school classic guy, all that crap. So he's one of them guys.
A machine can't do art.
Yeah. A machine can't do a man job. A machine can't have a child. A machine, all that crap. Like, okay, man, all right.
All right, we get it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little cliche. Excuse me. That's a little cliched, but the way they played it out, it was pretty good. So, the character Logan, what was his name?
Gray.
Yeah. Okay. So he played a character named Gray, and he was a mechanic. He fixed old classic cars up for rich people. I guess they wanted to collect them because they didn't need those older cars. I guess because they had self-driving cars. But then again, I only seen a few of those cars look like it didn't look like it was the road full of self-driving cars.
Because I think I only saw like maybe 3 or 4 of them throughout the whole movie.
But that might have been because of the budget.
Right.
And we're gonna talk about that because I got thoughts on why this movie looked like it did. Because like I said, this is in the near future, and they showed some futuristic looking sets, but just once. After that, they went to rundown neighborhoods, rundown bar, and it didn't look futuristic at all.
Most of this movie took place in the hood.
Yeah, but I think it's like because like budget. But I like that because in older movies like that where they didn't have really the budget to make a future movie, so what they do was they just add a couple pieces on cars. They take a gun and put a little extra pipes on it and call it a futuristic gun. So basically, it's a grimy.
Add lights to anything,
right? Or they'll take a toaster and put something on it and be like, "This is a whatever,"
This is an oxygen recycling.
That's the cheap future.
Yeah.
In which they make it more realer. It looks more real and lived in than the green screen future, which looks so like a dream or some shit. So this character Gray, he don't like nothing futuristic. He don't like enhancements. You can have, I guess, in this in this near future, you can have enhancements. I'm not sure. Was that a thing or was that just?
I think to some level it was a thing, but like
I didn't know if it was like something that shouldn't have happened, or was that already something people was doing? Getting body enhancements.
I think it was a thing that people had started doing.
Okay,
but
it might not have been legal yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So because it kind of got the Ghost of the Shell kind of feel a little bit, where everybody in Ghost of the Shell is like enhanced in some kind of way, and so this guy gets into an accident and get paralyzed. He lose the use of his arms and legs. He's a quadriplegic. I guess he can only move his head, maybe.
Yeah.
And and so the whole deal was his wife died in this accident. Now I'm not gonna say everything that happened from this accident, but let's just say in this incident, his wife died and he got paralyzed. And well, you see in the trailer, somebody killed her. I mean, I'm trying not to spoil it, but I guess you got to say that to get what's going on with the movie. So somebody killed his wife, and he's a quadriplegic. At this point, he kind of contemplates suicide. He can't do nothing. He feels useless. He just want to end it or whatever. And of course, you got your your miracle. Steve Jobs character coming in, which by the way was a Leo clone. There's a few of them out there, ain't they?
Yeah.
Oh, like Dane DeHaan or something.
Yeah.
It's Leo got a lot of clones out there, dude. But yeah, we got you got your fake Steve Jobs characters that built this new enhancements for people for bodies or whatever. And the thing is, and if you see in the trailer, the chip will enhance his body and make him be able to walk again. And the movie kind of goes from there. Now you can imagine at this point, would this be just a revenge flick, or would it be something more? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it up to there?
You know, it felt pleasantly messy on that tip. Like it wasn't like all of a sudden I know exactly how to get to and do the. It's like dude was kind of lost on that.
Yeah, you know what I thought was I didn't see. It didn't seem like he wasn't driven by revenge. You know what I'm saying? He was more grief stricken than revenge. And I was thinking like, once somebody give you opportunity to get revenge, I don't see. It didn't seem like he wanted it enough. My opinion, like
I think he was more interested in having his questions answered.
Right. I mean, and it was to a point where, I can get revenge. Okay, cool. But it wasn't like that's all I'm living for. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to do. You know.
Right.
And I was looking for that, but that was fine. It just did. His motivation was a little not solid enough for me. Moving forward with the things that transpire later.
Right.
And he's saying, and I guess he wanted to do the right thing. He went to the police first, which you see in these movies. You go to the police first, they don't help you, so you take the law in your own hands. So and this is when you see on the trailer the chip starts to take over. The chip is actually talking to him, and it can control his body. And it does things where it can't do things more than a human can do, but it can make your functions so efficient like a computer, where it, you know what I'm saying, and also it can analyze things too, and just talk to him like, yeah, I saw this, but you know something, and I'm gonna get to this later with the story. Though when the computer first started talking to him, it seemed a little fishy how he came to him.
Yeah.
He wasn't worried about, hey, I can talk and I'm in your body, da da da. He was more worried about, let's find the people that killed your wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know that was kind of like
it didn't even introduce itself. It was just straight up. I've noticed something about the video.
Yeah.
Who the hell?
Like it seemed like it had his and maybe I feel him on that, like he had his interest, because they had to survive together. But it just don't seem like a way that it would introduce itself by immediately just worrying about what he doing, you know. But I mean, that was cool though.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked for what happened later with the movie.
Yeah.
So what's the old girl name, man? She's the cop in the movie.
Oh God.
She played in Get Out.
Yeah.
This is the Blumhouse production, matter of fact. And I guess, she's been in a lot of Blumhouse movies because she was in The Purge. The second one? What's the one? Yeah, I think that was the second one. Maybe that was the third one. Well, she was in one of the Purges. I think that was the third one. And then she was in Get Out, and that was all Blumhouse. So I think she, affiliated with them. But I can't remember her name, but she was a good character in the movie. And so when he couldn't get the help from the cops, that's when what was the name? Stem. All right, started to take over. So tell me what you think of once Stem took over and the action.
I like whenever Stem was in control. That was when the camera started following his movements more dramatically.
Right.
So you see in the trailer when he's whooping old dude at the house. Mm-hmm. Every movement he makes, the camera tracks it. Like that
perfect. Was the best camera work I've seen in a while, dude. Because it puts you in the mindset. Because when he moved, like the camera be in a certain place, and when he moved, the camera moved with him. So you ain't just watching him move like you just said, but it was like a tilt kind of angle. So say he's laying down, he get up real fast, the camera gets up with him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's kind of a cool trick, It makes it more kinetic.
I think even when he was doing the backflips, the camera was rolling with him.
Was it? Now did it? Okay.
I might have to watch it again just to be sure, but I feel like that was something I noticed. But also it's easy to forget that that his body's being controlled by a computer sometimes. Mm-hmm. And then when they show you his whole movement and you see some of the isolations he's doing, mm-hmm. It's like, oh, okay, that's not fluid. That's not natural.
All right, I'm gonna tell you, I had a problem with some of it, but some of it I did. I felt like it was what a computer would do. It's going to be efficiently moving, but some things he did seem like okay, a computer wouldn't do that. A computer only going to do what's need to be done. What's the shortest difference between two? What's the shortest
distance between 2 points?
Right, straight line. So a computer ain't gonna do zigzag just to be fancy. It's just gonna do the straight line. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking like things like when he's hitting the dude over the head with the plates and shit. Yeah. It's like they play that for laughs. But I felt like that was out of character for what I saw so far. But it was okay though. Yeah. They didn't do too much of that. But what I thought of the action just on the whole, it was the camera work made it incredible. It wasn't something I haven't seen before, but the way the way they did the camera, the way the camera work was, it was something. It was something spectacular, just how they did that. But it wasn't as much gore and action as I thought it was, but it was enough to keep me engaged.
Right.
So let's talk about the characters, man. What did you think about the villains? I had to say something because it's one of them dudes. It's like they were just stock villains, but
the evil love child of Walter Goggins and Jackie Earle Haley.
Yeah. What's that guy name, man?
I don't know.
Okay, man. So in these movies, when you got to take technology action movies, your villain always got to have either the same tech or similar tech to you, and this guy had that, but this dude was so extra with it. He are not gonna kill you first. He always gotta say some shit before he kills somebody. Yeah. And so some corny shit too that you'll be like, man, just do it, man.
Look, either kill me or don't talk me to death.
I mean, I suppose he was a soldier and he's one of them soldiers that always got to give you a speech about.
Like
Is it?
like he's the dude. Like he'll capture for. It's like I'll bring everybody in front of me. I want to talk at him a bit before we get rid of him.
Yeah. So the villains was cool because they could fight them on equal footing at some point, at some way.
Yeah.
But this is my problem. Nobody used they power when it was time to use it. That just irked me, man.
How quickly would this movie have been over?
And yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay.
And that's the thing, like that's what's annoying about it. It's like it's cool that you gave him that, but if at any point they thought to use it, the movie would have ended.
I know. Or not just the best power, but just a power. So when he caught up to the dudes, none of them used none of the stuff they could do.
Yeah.
And then you saw later they could do things, but none of them used nothing.
And like especially because like you find out after the fact, oh no, they've all got this, and this.
Right. And nobody really used none of that. But you know, for the plot, they couldn't do it at that point. You know,
and the budget, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I just think it would have made it cooler to make it more like maybe they using all they stuff, but they still can't get them. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't really do that.
They basically make most of them just generic mooks. You know?
Yeah, and this is my problem with the whole thing. It's a trope they do in these movies where the hero has a nemesis, and the nemesis have this cool, unbeatable move that he does just to show you he can do it early in the movie to somebody either made a mistake or somebody he need to get rid of. He'll do a cool ass thing to him, and at the end of the movie, when he fight the hero, he don't do it or he don't get to do it, but he never pulls it out again. Right. It's like, dude, if you would do that, this movie would have been over. And I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna just let you see. Whoever watched it, let you see what that move was. But the villain had a cool ass move that would have ended that movie ASAP.
Yeah. At any given time.
All right. So we can talk about that ending, man. So they had a little twist with the ending, and we're gonna talk about that in the spoilers. But the man, I was trying to talk about without spoiling it, but the movie took me in a place where movies like this usually don't take me. And I was really respecting it for that. And I was waiting. For them to just go ahead and give me that old same old shit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, just stick to it. You're good. You're there. Just stick to it. And you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it for that. That made this that boosted this movie up one for me. So what you think of that ending?
You know, like, because on some extent I was kind of prepared for the kind of twist they chose on this one, because that was the only way I would have accepted this movie ending. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I did love the way they did it. Like. Mm-hmm. And they committed to it hardcore too, which has never been a bad thing.
Right.
But like just like as you track back from the ending to every other moment before, it's like, so that's why, and that's why, okay, and so the movie, like, to see a movie like this that knows what it is so well and like is not afraid to just be the kind of movie that they decided to make. Mm-hmm. It didn't try to be an epic romance movie, even though it didn't have room for it. It didn't try to be some heroic tale of triumph, even though it wasn't supposed to be. It just did its thing, got down and dirty with it, and then left. Yeah, and
the thing was, it took it a direction, and I was kind of mad when I was watching. I'm like, you doing pretty good, and you went down this same old shit, and it was just a red herring, just because they had something else in store for you. That's what I like about it, because I like movies that's doing something different, that's making me think, but they also exceeded my expectations.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that's rare, because usually it's like they do the same old blueprint, and you know what to expect. Sometimes it still be good, but you still know respect. but they took the blueprint that you know and use it as a red herring. Now that I do like.
And that was cool, you know. So it's like, they doing this,
right?
Never mind.
Right, and we could talk about all the stuff they did in the spoilers, but yeah, for doing that, I had, like I said, I boosted up one, and so I'm gonna give this a rating, dude. So this movie was well shot. It was great action. The acting was actually pretty good. Logan Marshall-Green, I think his name. He actually did a pretty good job, because I mean, I'm not really a fan of his, but the parts where he was going through grief and sorrow and all that, I kind of felt his pain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just felt for him. I felt bad for the dude. You know,
there's a moment there when he like hits rock bottom where it's like he just saw his out.
Right. Yeah.
And he's ready to take it. And
and I'm thinking, like, in that instance, you got two ways, right? You're gonna either feel rage or sorrow, and he was just sorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little disappointed that he didn't. Was more motivated, like, you know what, I'm gonna get those motherfuckers, but he didn't even give a car.
Right.
And that could be more realistic. But I don't know. I end up thought he did a good job in the movie, and plus he had to do a lot of with his emotions, where you got to think nobody's really in his head, but he got to pretend like somebody in his head, controlling his body. You know what I'm saying?
Playing to a voice in his ear.
But so the acting was good, and then my girl, she always do a good job. Wish I knew her name. My girl from Get Out, she always do a good job, so I wasn't worried about that. So because of the action, the villains was, you know what, that villain was so interesting because he was just so weird and awkward that I kind of was interested in him just because of that.
Who is this man?
Yeah, I don't know. But he was a cliche villain. Yeah. But it still was a good movie on the whole. So for my rating, I'm gonna give it a dope. I think this movie was a solid dope. I couldn't push it up to epic because I just didn't get those epic feelings. So I go on my feelings.
Right.
I don't think too hard. I just gotta have that feeling of, did this feel epic? It felt dope, but it didn't feel epic. So for that, I'm gonna give it a dope.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. And for me, like, what would have pushed it up is if they had like really pushed that transhumanism singularity aspect of this story. Mm-hmm. And there was a body horror element to it that almost had me pushing it up.
Right,
there.
But see, they didn't even do that much. Really they actually made it seem like it was gonna be more in the trailers. Yeah. Where those, it was just a few occasions where they did that. You know.
And so, like, because of that, like, I have to drop it down to a net because they left a lot on the table with this one. And I will
drop it down to an epic.
No, dropping it down to a dope.
You said drop down to epic.
I thought that from. Anyways.
Oh, maybe you did.
Yeah. Either way. So I had to give it a dope just because I feel like this movie had a lot more potential to be more, but the camera work alone is spectacular. The choreography on some of the fights was pretty dope. Mm-hmm. And so I mean, it's just a fun movie, man.
Yeah, I think a movie like this would work better if they actually improve those villains a little bit. Improve the villains. I think moving forward it'd be better, like as a part 2 or something. But you got to give them something to work with, Yeah. So that's our rating. We both gave it a dope. It was a good movie. It's worth going to see. So we're gonna jump into a quick spoiler discussion.